Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to Build and Breathe. My name is Nick and this is my co-host Cory. We are both entrepreneurs and professionals in two very different fields. On this podcast, we discuss hot fitness and health topics. More importantly, we take those things and try to make them a little bit more bite-sized, tangible, actionable things for our day-to-day lives. And in our second segment,
Touch Grass, we talk about our business wins and challenges, and our fitness wins and challenges that we're going to be tackling throughout the week. And then sometimes we layer in our own life wins and challenges because we're human too. Yo. Welcome back, everyone. Hopefully everyone had good holidays. We're into 2026. It's been what a journey for the last month and a bit. It's been a little while since we've posted our episode, but this is our new season 2. So we're super excited to get back into it. And we're going to talk with some pretty relevant stuff, I think. You know, over the holidays, I'm sure a lot of you have got some wearable tech, new Apple Watches or Garmin's or whatever it might be. And you're going to start tracking, your health stats. Are you sleeping well? Are you burning enough calories? Are you doing your workouts? So the question we're going to ask today is wearable tech, friend or foe for your fitness journey? Nick, I'll pitch it to you, man. What do you think? Friend or foe?
I'm going to answer this in a bit of a long form. So I used to work for Microsoft, right? Remember those days? And I actually worked on one of their wearables back in the day. They had the Microsoft Band. It was they had a few series.
Did you really?
I did, yeah. So
cool.
I actually know quite a bit about wearable tech, both from the development side, because I was working with developers on getting feedback loops from consumers and stuff. And then from a cultural standpoint, so everybody was competing against each other, there's the whole community aspect of let's get this many steps and whatever, and then you get rankings among people. So I think it's really cool to get a community active in it and participating. So I think as a participation tool, it's really cool because the end result is people do move in general more than if they didn't have that incentive. So I think it creates a tangible incentive for people that don't move to move. That said, now here's my disclaimer on it. I think if you're very much obsessed with the trackability of things, I think it might hinder you from maybe just getting in tune with your body. I say that from a standpoint of the people that are the most fit that I know, and myself included, don't use wearable tech. It's very much about feel and know-how and just doing the thing. If you ask me how many calories I burn on an average workout, I have no idea. But I can tell you which metrics I'm trying to hit as far as the speed that I'm sprinting or the weights that I'm lifting at a certain machine or a certain exercise for how many reps, how much rest, what is my goal there. So it's a performance-based goal rather than a fill your circle sort of goal. Yeah.
Cool.
I think some people really, it's almost like paralysis by analysis. If you're so worried about filling those circles, if you don't move on to the next thing, which is actually progressive overload, getting into more interesting programs, getting your body to develop, there's more things mobility as an example. You can fill your circle however many times with however many steps, but if your hips are locked up, you don't have any longevity, right? So it just goes beyond filling in the rings for me. And that's where I think it could be a foe.
Yeah, so it's interesting. So I wear an Apple Watch every day. My attention to it has changed. When I initially got it, I think there was a novelty to tracking metrics that you maybe have never seen before or known what they were. So, knowing how many steps you're doing in a day or knowing a calorie range of what you're burning. It made it, like you said, I think it's a good participation thing because sometimes it'll, notify you, be like, hey, you should stand up. You should go for a walk. You haven't closed your ring, so go do something. So it's from that perspective, it's good. But I got into this mindset where it's if I missed recording a walk or a run or a workout, it felt like it didn't happen.
Yeah, the
And
whole recorded or it didn't happen thing. Everybody has that.
it was really weird, and it was like it's like I won't at some point I was like, why am I thinking like that? This is so stupid. I was like,
Right, right.
it's not just because it's not recorded on my watch doesn't mean it didn't happen. It doesn't mean like I didn't make progress. But it was actually for me, it was from that angle that it was a faux.
Mm.
Is that like it's just like if it's not in here, somehow this was the source of truth, and if it didn't happen,
The
then like
reality is it's irrelevant. This is
yeah,
all that
yeah,
matters.
yeah. That's exactly. So for me, that's kind of what made it the faux. But last year, and I guess even the year before too, when I started running a lot, that's actually when it became super useful for tracking distances and time and stuff like that, because those were metrics that actually mattered in
Yeah,
that sport, right?
yeah, yeah.
So I think it's a good friend generally for participation. It's a great friend for very specific types of activities, like running is a great example. Even swimming might be another example too, where you have distance and time that you need to consider. But when it comes to working out, I like your methodology of just like it's more based on performance metrics and based on feel, right? And being more in tune with your body rather than just always worrying about this. We know, we've seen it. There's like multiple people that have tested different types of smartwatches, and you get a massive range of how many calories you're burning. Even other metrics around heart rate as well is not as accurate as people might think it is. So I think it's good, but it's just to me it's no longer a source of truth, and it doesn't have to be for anyone.
I think you actually really briefly touched on an interesting point too, accuracy of the measurement. That's a whole different thing. So a couple of things like calorie burnt as a metric, right? As an example. That is usually off of if there's no presetting to like your height, your weight, and more importantly, your musculature and your build, it's going to go off of averages and medians within whatever study they use as their metric. So it's not going to be personalized to you unless you can personalize those formulas within your wearable tech. So for anybody that's like using that, I think that that's like a key thing. Like dig into your settings and see if you can manipulate at least height and weight and age. But the even with that, the major one is definitely body composition. Like a person that's 10% body fat, that's 180 pounds, versus a person that's 25% body weight with 180 pounds are going to burn two completely different sets of calories. The person with 10% body fat at 180 means that they have more either bone or muscle tissue, or obviously a mixture of the two, than the person with 25% body fat weighing the same amount. The person with more bone and muscle density is going to burn more calories doing the same jumping jacks with the same cadence, right? The person with less body fat is going to burn more than the person with more body fat every time. And so there is that aspect, right? That said, and I'll share like one more anecdote. I have a guy that comes to one of my conditioning classes, and he's really in shape. He's like built like a bull, and he tracks his calories religiously during the HIIT workout. And it's interesting for me because I don't track. But the first time he took my class, he came up to me after the class and he showed me his metric. And he's like, hey, man, he's like, I just want to let you know, you made me burn more calories than any other instructor in here. And whatever methodology you're using, like they don't have. And I'm like, that's cool for me to know. I had no idea. I'm just optimizing the workout based on feel and experience,
Yeah,
not knowing that numerically, right? And
that's
then
pretty cool.
he was in my class like 2 days ago, and he came up to me. He's like, "Hey, he's like, I actually burnt like about 75 calories more than the average for when I come to your class." And he's like, Did you what did you do different?" And I was like, "I added some plyometrics into like every second or third set, so just leaving the ground. That's probably what knocked up the extra few calories here and there and all that, right?"
Yeah.
Again, like you can make it math, but I'm not doing it to make it math,
Yeah. But the feedback is cool. And you actually pointed out something that is true, even if metrics aren't accurate, is that what is useful with this wearable tech is trends and patterns. Because even if the metric is wrong or the accuracy isn't perfect, if you're using the same tool to measure every single time, you will see trends and patterns whether it's something is increasing or decreasing, assuming all other stuff is the same. So now, whether or not the results of those patterns and trends are true, because like if you think about like heart rate or something like that,
Yeah.
um, if your resting heart rate is like decreasing over time, that's a positive thing. But you also don't know if it's accurate altogether. Is it really at 55 beats per minute or 60 or something like that? But I still think it's good. It's like it's a way that you can actually still spot trends of things occurring.
Yeah, I honestly think those, like the wearable tech as far as heart rates, are becoming more and more accurate. I'm less opposed to that. Like I'm more in line with like that's coming in closer and closer to where we want it to be. Where I definitely draw the line, and this isn't wearables, but body fat measurements,
Okay.
especially,
Yeah.
and I've like even at some of the more premium gyms, they have the more advanced ones where you have like the sensors here and you're standing on foot sensors and you're standing up straight and it's like it's a full body scan and it gives you a
Yeah.
ton of metrics. But those metrics fluctuate on hydration levels. Like
Hmm.
that's so hard to control and regulate for you as a human being. I know this to be true. Like like if I'm dehydrated, say I'm coming in first thing in the morning and I haven't drank anything yet, that's going to give me a super flattering read versus me chugging a bunch of water and then stepping onto that scale.
Yeah.
Maybe a half a pound difference in weight, but because of the amount of water moving through my body, and if especially if there's like say an electrolyte beverage, so salt, so electric current going through my body, that's going to throw off the metrics like crazy too. So
Sure.
I really struggle with like when I'm coaching clients and they use those metrics. Yes, I also do the whole trend analysis thing, like are we moving in the right direction? But even that has its flaws sometimes. Like you'll see like a random spike and they're freaking out and I'm like, okay, this doesn't make any sense because we haven't changed anything as far as your nutrition or as far as training. So it's like you always have to have a bunch of discernment in your mind towards those metrics. If it's an anomaly, it's an anomaly. Like it freaked
Yeah.
out. The machine, I have no other explanation for you other than it read it wrong.
How would you, if people do want to like track their body fat, how do you recommend to people to do that normally? Is it like the traditional way with like, what is it, like the calipers or whatever it's called, that you actually like pinch out the body fat and measure in like a bunch of different spots, or something else?
I honestly think calipers and photos are probably the most accurate unless you want to do what's called water displacement body composition tests, which are more expensive, but
Yeah.
those and air displacement they have same method but just water instead of air, or air instead of water rather. Those are the most accurate, but you need to go to a lab for those. You need to pay a little bit more of a premium for it, but they
Yeah.
are the most accurate because they don't rely on your hydration levels. They calculate all of the numerical things and then it's all about displacement of other mass and elements.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah, but other than that, I would say, yeah, the pinch tests and mirror testing. But when you do the mirror, this is what I'll say. Angles are incredibly important. Lighting is incredibly important. So make sure it's a well lit room. If it's a shadowed room, you will not spot any difference under any conditions. You're just a shape, right?
Right.
The other thing though is like capturing your back is really important and capturing your sides is really important. Everybody will always see progress on their back long before they see it on their front.
Oh, interesting.
A big spot is actually like it's very frustrating for people because they want to see progress on the places that are going to change the absolute last. And
Yeah.
their eyes, it's always like, well, I'm not seeing any change. And I have to point their eyes in a specific part of the photo and say, there's the change. So, for
Yeah.
example, people will lose fat here before they lose fat here. And so
Mm.
their eyes are focusing on the thing, the muffin top, say, that
Yeah.
like they're frustrated with. And they're like, this hasn't changed. And then I'm like, look at this part and notice how it used to like overhang and now it's like slimmed in, right? So the 2 pounds or 3 pounds or whatever. And it probably came off the thighs as well, right? Keep in mind that 2, 3 pounds is not going to come off of just this or just
Right.
that. It's going to be spread from the
Yeah.
body. But you can start seeing changes there a little bit faster, right? Genetics play. Some people lose body fat in different places, but yeah, the muffin top is last.
I have a funny story, and then we could probably wrap with that. But like
Yeah.
the funny story is that like there's not a wearable tech, but it's health tech. A while ago, there was these new 3D scanner scales that were coming out, and there was one that would like it would
Thick,
come
right?
out like this,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
go
yeah,
around
yeah.
you,
It's really cool.
and they had this massive competition, like contest to like basically win it. And dude, I don't know why, but I spent an egregious amount of time build like email aliases, building new emails, and like trying to get up on this scoreboard for this contest just to win this thing. And
Yeah.
I probably spent, I shit you not, like 30 hours, like
Wow.
just. And this was
Almost
back
a
in like
full work
university.
week.
Yeah, this was like in university or something like that. Just trying to win this contest. I didn't win, but
You didn't win. Yeah, yeah.
no, but
Some
it's just when we were
schmuck that
talking about
entered
this.
once on one token one. Yeah.
Yeah, I had so many entries. Anyways, just us talking about like wearable tech had me thinking of like me when I spent all that time just trying to get this body
So-
scanner scale.
I think there's a lot of potential with that tech because I think it scans photos. It's multiple photos and it creates a 3D picture. So it's kind of what I'm saying, but next gen of that,
Yeah.
where it's
Yeah.
going to spot all of the reductions everywhere. All right, guys. So with season 2, Cory and I decided to switch it up. We're going to move right into touch grass, and we're going to do our famous bong 3, 2, 1, bong. This is the segment where we talk about our wins and our challenges. We're actually going to combine a little bit of our fitness thing. Maybe this is a little more relatable. And then we're going to go into our business wins and losses. So, Cory, I'm going to shift it to you. What are you changing as far as your fitness routine moving into this week, and maybe a challenge that you had? So one win, one challenge.
Yeah. So for this week for fitness, for those of you who don't know, I was moving across the country, and so I'll start with my challenge. My challenge was that being in the middle of a move and trying to one, eat right and also go to the gym have been a bit of a challenge. Eating not so bad, but going to the gym, I was telling Nick earlier, it's been quite a struggle. Gym's not wanting to take my money and let me work out there, and so.
Yeah, the interesting disclaimer is it's not that you didn't want to go to the gym. It's that you wanted to go to the gym. It's that they didn't let you go to the gym.
Yeah, pretty much. And so I'm figuring that out. So I'm hopefully getting my gym membership today so I can actually hit my minimums for this week at basically a 1, 2, 3 punch Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
And minimums for you are 3 days a week of lifting, right?
Yeah, 3
Right.
days a week of lifting is my minimums. So that was kind of like my challenge this week is just figuring that out. And so I mean I don't think I really have I guess the win is actually my nutrition. While I didn't track it, I being more in tune with my body, like I feel like I ate decently well. Like I had a breakfast, I had a solid lunch, I had a solid dinner, I had I think good nutrient dense snacks in between, had protein shakes. So it's like I kept myself well hydrated throughout
Nice.
the days, even during a very chaotic week. So while I didn't track it, it felt really good. So I think that's my win.
Yeah, right. And then next week, you're also going to increase your overall output, right? That's the goal.
Yeah, increase overall output is what we kind of talked through, which will be interesting too, because I'm also traveling, so that'll kind of be a challenge I'll need to work through.
Yeah.
But less of a concern than this week. So yeah, increase the outputs, and then also we're starting to kind of slice and dice my
Cut.
macros a bit.
Getting Cory
cut.
lean.
Yeah, we're getting myself nice and lean. That's my fitness update. Those are my wins
Yeah.
and challenges for it.
Cory's on daily cardio for 15 minutes a day. But if he does a hike, he gets to combine 2 cardio sessions into one. So he can skip a day if he does a hike. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Fun things.
How about you, man?
For me, I am I mean, I'm still very, very active with my job, so I am not concerned about cardio. My cardio is in tip-top shape, and I definitely don't need to do more movement on that front. I think my biggest challenge is to I was sitting at 3 days a week as my general strength training protocol. I'm just not liking certain parts of my body, not visually, but more so like they're just not getting enough love and attention. So
Yeah.
I'm bringing myself up to 4 days a week just so I can fit all the movements that I actually want to work in to a split. Three is just not, and I don't like to be in the gym for more than an hour personally for me, like on the gym floor for more than an hour.
Yep.
And so with 3 days a week, I just can't bang through the movements that I would like to keep as my general protocol of things, right? So
And
I'm bringing
staying
it up.
within an hour at the gym per session.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, as knowledgeable as I am, I still have my limitations of like time and what I can do, right? And how much rest I need between sets and blah 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 blah. So, I think 4 is going to be the magic number, and that also leaves me with enough time to recover and if I want to go for hikes or something like that. So that's what I did this past week. I have my fourth day just to cover over the weekend and then I'm good to go. Challenge is actually I'm a little bit low on protein, I find. So I am eating big meals and I'm eating about 2 to 3 times a day, but
Yep.
I know I'm shy about 30 to 50 grams of protein of where I would want to be from an
Gotcha.
optimal standpoint. So I got to get myself a protein powder. I think I'm going to jump back into protein powders. I've been honestly off of them for, gosh, more than a year, honestly, I think. Like I've had a
Really?
yeah, I have a protein tub on my kitchen counter. I'm not a fan of the flavor, but I have had that tub for over a year now. I
Wow.
just don't really touch it. So the beauty of it is I've really enjoyed cooking whole protein sources. So I eat my
Yeah.
fish, I eat my steaks and all that stuff. I just think that with being as busy as I am, it just becomes it's the usual stuff, man. I'm just like everybody else, right? You get busy and you're like, I can't fit another meal into my day. So
Yeah.
it have to be a protein shake. My saving grace is that I am very, very active and I'm not really looking to build muscle. So it's not that I need that protein from a cosmetic standpoint. I think I need it more from a structural health standpoint. That's why I'm actually kind of paying more attention to it is like I
Right.
think I should optimize my recovery. I should optimize my skin health, my hair health, all that stuff. And protein is a key aspect of all those things.
Fair.
So that's why I'm dialing that back in. What I will say, one major win for me was that I was starting to get a little, it's winter season, and I started getting a little bit sick. Not
Hmm.
sick, but like, when you feel like you're on the verge of things? For
Yep.
me, right away, that's like a reminder, like, your micronutrients are off, right? So I stocked up on vitamins. So I have multivitamins, which I am double dosing on. I mean, the requirements are so soft, so really double dosing is probably what a athletic dosage is, to be
Sure.
honest. The more physical output you have, generally, the more micronutrients you need as well. Your body just burns through it. It's all stress, right? Physical output is stress on the body. So you
Yep.
need more. I have some creatine gummies.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes. And I have L-carnitine in there with electrolytes mixed in. They're in the shape of, it's just one gummy, and I've been really, really enjoying those. So between that and my multivitamins, it's
Nice.
been a great change up. Like I've done it now for 2 weeks, I believe.
Yeah.
Definitely more sustainable on the energy level, on a daily level.
I need to get some. I think micronutrients is something I've like very easily shafted to the side.
Yeah.
You saying that just kind of reminds me of it because there was a time when I was doing like whole food diets and like supplementing with like micronutrients was also a big thing,
Yeah.
and I felt great. So
Yeah.
even like just multivitamins alone is like a good start. So I think I might go pick some up today actually.
That's
Now you say it.
honestly, it's never a bad way to spend money. Um,
Hmm.
the other thing, oh yes, for you, because now you're cutting calories too. if you're feeling hungry, greens powder. Add a greens powder. It'll help you
Ooh, smart.
digest the 1800 that you have. It'll make you make the most out of the 1800. It's going to pull all the nutrients out. It's going to help you digest a little bit better. Yeah.
Cool. Sweet, sweet,
Huge.
sweet.
And then
Nice,
business.
man. Yeah, business. I can start. So I think wins and challenges for business. So like I said, moved to Western Canada, moved to Kelowna. So big win is like being in the same building and city that I work with most of the people that I normally work with on a day-to-day basis, which is like a huge win. I've already noticed it this week of just like being able to sync with people very quickly, be able to make decisions a lot faster. It's so funny how just being in the same room can deliver faster results even in a digital world. So that has been a huge win. Challenge for these are all good challenges for the business this week. It's just that I have a lot in the pipeline and it's more about delivering on it with, now we don't have enough resources for what we would need to deliver. So the challenge is going to be back to hiring, which is something I had about a month and a half ago. We hired some people. We're back into that again, where we need to hire more people because we have more things coming. So it's like good problems to have in the business, but it's just, just more stress just to get it done.
Cool, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. 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 How about you?
I think my biggest win over the last week was I got my app to function.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, one of the problem areas that I had was I wasn't sure how to link a video library to the application because I'm building the app from ground up, right? So, and I'm using AI to help me code it. So talking to the AI, I'm trying to like maneuver it to the way that I want it to, and I got it. I managed to code it in the way that I need to.
Nice.
So at this stage now, I can build out the curriculum that I intended to build out, which now allows me to create sales assets. So this week, the challenge for me is to create those sales assets, notably like screen recordings and stuff like that, run it through probably another AI generator for video and overlay it with text and things like that. And then have that, basically I'm stocking all that up for my sales reps to utilize for their sales. So I'm giving them their ammunition, but the challenge is on me to create the thing that they will be selling, right? So yeah, we're close to a tangible product that they can go and say, this is what it looks like, this is what it's going to feel like. I have one more meeting tomorrow with one of my experts. I just got to sync with her to make sure that I need to explain this last functionality to her because the first time we connected, it didn't exist. So I need everyone to be on the same page with like what it is that I'm actually doing now. But yeah,
Cool.
It's looking good. I'm hella nervous to like deploy it, but it seems to be operational, so that's exciting.
Hey man, that's always the most nerve-wracking thing, but deploying it will mean that people get to use it, and people get to use it means that the fun thing is they get to break it and you get to find feedback and improve it. So
yes.
As much as that sucks, it's like it's also really exciting. It's just like you're so close to just it being in people's hands to use, which is a really, really cool thing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you created something out of thin air, right? So it's there. It's there. Yeah. I guess the other one too is a fun thing is the trailer for the show that I shot in the fall just came out. So that should be released.
I saw you shared this on your Instagram.
Yeah. So it should be out next month.
Cool.
In about 6 weeks, I think, is the first episode. So that's kind of exciting. And then, the new year has started, so auditioning for projects now for 26.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Well, we sounds like we're starting 2026 off like pretty good.
Yeah. And we hope whoever's listening is too. That's going to be an exciting year ahead, wishing progress and prosperity and trailblazing to all.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Build and Breathe. If you'd like to reach out to myself or Nick, our socials will be in the description below, but please like, subscribe, and share this with anyone you think would enjoy the episode as well too. Otherwise, we will see you next week in another episode of Build and Breathe.